Hello everyone, Hachadino over here, and as you always know, you can like my videos, subscribe in any of the cats that is on the sites, and become a member if you are interested. So let's begin. This is a video tailored for people that haven't played sub for a long while, or for people that kind of want to play sub in the war within. I'm going to go around the strengths and the weaknesses of the spec itself, and what has changed just overall as a simple thing. I'm going to do another video where I'm more detailed for the people that are already playing the spec in the last seasons and already know more or less all of the things. So first of all, Sublety is a spec that is centered around our cooldowns. We do a lot of damage while we have our cooldowns up, and while they are not up, we go into something called maintenance phase. You will do, in this case, ruptures to get the debuff up, and spend your combo points on eviscerate or black powder depending on the situation outside of dance. Shadow dance is our main cooldown where we do most of our damage, and we will sync it with all of our other cooldowns, in the general case being shadow blades and flagellation. We also have some other cooldowns that are less important, but we still use in dance. There are symbols of death and secret technique. Secret technique is our best finisher right now and does a lot of damage, and we always will fit it inside dance. We have other talents that also affect dance, and we also have our two hero talents trees that also interact with it. I'm not going to explain it that much because this is just an overview. Now, as I've already talked about the things that we do, there is one change that maybe if you have played sub for a while but then came back, you're going to be a little bit surprised. Now we have cut to the chase as a rogue general talent. That means that our slice and dice will refresh automatically if we use eviscerate. That means that it's likely that in a dungeon or in a fight you will only use it once and then just refresh it. Why would that happen even if you are in AoE? Because Trickster and Deathstalker both have mechanics that make it so you want to eviscerate even in AoE more often than 10 seconds. In the case of Deathstalker, it's a little bit less often, but still you want to spend your capstone to get that eviscerate. Now, of course, we also have one thing that maybe you will be surprised about if you haven't played Rogue in a long while or haven't played the game at all and you want to play Rogue now. We have a raid buff. It's called Atrophic Poison and reduces the damage that mobs do, and it affects, let's say, almost everything that they do except environmental damage, but let's not explain those kind of complicated things. It's 3% baseline, and then if you talent Master Poisoner, it's 3.6. In the case of numbing poison, it still exists and reduces the cast time and the attack time of most mobs. Of course, it's good in dungeons and also in raid combat. If you have more than one rogue, you also can use both poisons, or even there's a little, let's say, bug where atrophic poison stacks with more than one rogue. Now, as Sublety, of course, you will want to use your cooldowns, and then in the phases where you are not doing that much damage, use other things. But now I'm going to talk about the two hero talent trees really fast. We have, first of all, Deathstalker, where it has this Deathstalker mark that applies to one mob, and let's say that this hero talent tree it's more tailored to, in this case, single target, and also has funnel. Funnel is a thing that we had for a while and then we lost it, kind of. It came back a bit. It's not super strong, but it also has a kind of execute it's still, let's say, weak, but exists. We also have our main capstone that it increases the damage of one eviscerate quite a bit, and also makes it so you have your Death Stalker max again. Now we have Trickster. Let's say that it has also some things to do more single target damage. The main thing, of course, is Unseen Blade. It just procs on your Shadow Strikes and backstabs that you do. It enables the whole, as let's say, hero talent tree, the capstone. When we have those 4 stacks of Unseen Blade, we will be able to do this, and you get a more powerful finisher that we want to use in dance, and also some stacks of Flawless Form. Now, the main thing that you will be surprised if you haven't played in the beta is now you have Nimble Flurry, making it so we are like Outlaw, because of course this is the talent tree that we share with Outlaw, that Stalker is shared with Assassination, and when you use all of these abilities, there are also others that are included now, like for example Echoing Reprimand, Goremo's Bite. It will do 50% or the normal damage while Flawless Form is active. Kinda cool. Now let's go for the weaknesses. Scores, as you know, as Sublety, when you don't use your cooldowns well, or you use them and then lose them, or you are outside of the range, or boss goes immune, or anything like that, you will do almost no damage. And unless you play Shadow Dust, it will be a 2-minute cooldown spec class. That means that if you are playing the one that says Dark Brew, ignore my talents right now. This is not any talent build that you will play right now. It will mean that every 2 minutes you will have your big cooldowns, and then every around 30 seconds you will have a little window with Shadow Dance, Symbols of Death, and Secret Technique where you do some damage. Now, also, you will need always to get Find Weakness up, but we have a lot of talents to make them really easy to apply. That is almost everything that I wanted to say about Subrock. So, just saying that it's right now decent in single target. When you have your cooldowns, you will do a lot of damage. It's also good in AoE situations where there are not a huge deal of mobs if you are a Trickster, because remember it's capped to 7. And then for the raid wide things, you are still a rogue and you have that atrophic poison to help your teammates. Now, of course, when you don't have your cooldowns, it's going to be kind of sad. That is kind of the overview that I wanted to show you. Now, if you want to play rogue, you will have those things to enjoy. Of course, some people may say that the rotation is hard, but if you kind of want to see my videos that I will do afterwards, you may see that it's not that difficult, even if you compare it to other specs that seem also really difficult or even easy. You just get used to it and then you use your cooldowns as you want. That was everything, and I will see you on the next video.